Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining today's webinar with the Don't Eat Alone webinar series. My name is Brandon Kamel, and I'm Field Marketing Manager here at Kofax. And today's webinar is going to be specifically focused on using RPA to update a web portal. So we're joined by Tromba Technologies, who's going to be going through the presentation and doing a live presentation of the bot and how to build that bot in the middle of this presentation. And Chris Whitwright is going to be doing that demonstration for us. And so I'm going to be handing it over to him here in a second. A couple housekeeping items. Number one is if you have any questions during this session, you can type them directly into the Q&A box, and we'll be answering them live as they come in through the chat function. And then at the very end, we'll be talking about a couple other follow-up webinars that we have. And if there are other questions that you have, we'll be doing and addressing some of those as well. So thank you again for joining, and I'll pass it up to Chris. So thanks, Chris, for joining us.
Thank you, Brandon. So in this third robotics process automation webinar, we're going to be using a robot to extract information from a spreadsheet and putting that data into a vendor maintenance portal. Now, a little bit of background about myself and Tromba Technologies. My name is Chris Whitwright, as Brandon said, and I've worked with Tromba Technologies and Kofax for about 10 years now. Tromba Technologies solutions include cognitive document automation, which is where machine learning enables the classification, separation, and extraction of documents. Robotics process automation, which will be the focus of this webinar. Intelligent business process management, which is the process orchestration of all things automation. And finally, enterprise content management, which is the secure and compliant storage of data and documents. Now, our offerings are designed to help organizations maximize document automation by transforming manual processes into digital automated solutions. This webinar will make an introduction to the Kofax RPA product to show its user-friendliness, to explore its powerful automation features, and to generate ideas on how to apply that automation to current business opportunities. Kind of stepping through the agenda, we're going to make an introduction to the concepts of robotics process automation, cognitive document automation, and intelligent automation. We're going to walk through registering and installing the RPA trial. We're going to create our first robot together. And then we're going to go through examples of real-life use cases that could apply to your business. First, Kofax automation is the combination of cognitive document automation, robotics process automation, and intelligent automation. Cognitive document automation is automation that centers around modernizing slow, manual, and error-prone document processes. It's the automation of mailroom functions to use machine learning and artificial intelligence to separate and classify documents while extracting key data from those documents. CDA can capture documents from any source. Robotics process automation takes manual, repetitive tasks that your users perform daily and then translates them into software robots. RPA becomes your digital workforce, which eliminates data entry errors and provides 100% data accuracy, all while reducing processing times. Intelligent automation is the consolidation of like automation and artificial intelligent technologies to build a software framework of a comprehensive automation platform. Now let me slow down and take a breath, since that was just a lot of information and words that came flowing out of my mouth. So really, to simplify this, intelligent automation is the seamless combining of cognitive document automation and robotics process automation in a unified business process management platform. And Kofax Automation has all of that. And let me just add, like automation, Tromba Technologies works with all industries and all departments. Automation is not limited by industry or department. Any kind of manual process has the potential for an automated solution. Kofax Automation is a platform that combines CDA, RPA, and process orchestration. When the entire Kofax automation platform is utilized, you can touch all aspects of customer engagement, from the initial touch point with the customer, receiving documents and information, through the process, and even the real-time communication of updates to the customer. The Kofax automation platform is targeted towards citizen developers. Now let me take a moment and explain what that means. The Kofax automation platform is designed to allow end users the ability to design and then to configure their own solutions. For you, the business, are the experts with the knowledge. It empowers you to build your own solutions. By building your own solutions, it lessens your burden on IT. This will help free up IT timelines and their resources. As an example, this webinar will demonstrate the ability to build your own robot as a citizen developer. I would like to encourage you to download your free trial of Kofax RPA. It's free for 90 days, and it gives you the opportunity to build your own robots. You're going to register at the website. Then you're going to download the zip file, run the installation media. Then the email that you receive from Kofax will have all the license information. In addition to the trial, Kofax has video tutorials to help you install Kofax RPA and build your first robot. There's also free training for many Kofax products at learn.kofax.com. Please feel free to take a screenshot of this slide to refer back to the URLs. Now we're going to build our first robot together and kind of show you what the robots can do. As you see here, we have 5 vendors that have addresses that need to be updated. That information is in this spreadsheet right here. We need to take this information, put it into our web portal, and it will automatically update the vendors. So we're going to go to our portal. And we're going to start copying and pasting these values into the web portal. So we copy and paste the address, city, the state, the zip, and the phone number, and hopefully this will just illustrate how painful this process is to do it manually. So finally the email address, and we click submit. All right, let's go back and check our results. And you can see it updated the address. Now, we're going to be using a robot to update the rest of the 4 addresses. So let's go to our local management console and run that robot. You can see the robot is now running. So we're going to head back to our ERP system. Now, it's important to know that this robot is not automatically going to do it all in one swoop. It does the exact same process that I just showed you. It'll open up a spreadsheet, it will find the correct data, and then log into the web portal and use the web portal to update the address. So you can see that Second City Brokers has got its address updated. The other good news is you can take this process, you can run it, and then you can step away and do other tasks that are associated with your job. They don't have to sit here and click the refresh button to make sure that all the addresses get updated appropriately. So this provides value to the company where they can multitask more efficiently. All right. You can see that all of our addresses got updated correctly, which is great. So now what we're going to do is we're going to build a robot that does the exact same thing, except we're going to update the city. So put in some values that need to be updated so you guys can see this. We have our cities, and now we need to build a robot to go update them. So we're going to go to our design studio. I'm going to click on the correct project. Right-click to create a new web automation robot. Let's give it a name. Change of address. Alrighty. First thing we do is we need some variables. First variable we're going to need is an Excel spreadsheet because we need to open up that spreadsheet and get the correct data that we need off of there. The second variable is we're going to need to store the values that we get off of the spreadsheet. So, name, phone number, address, city, state, zip, and email address. So, first step is we are going to load our file, our Excel spreadsheet. So we're going to browse, do our change of address spreadsheet, and we're going to load it into a variable. After, we're going to open up that Excel spreadsheet. And it's kind of a pro tip, just so you guys know, I always create a unconfigured action step right after my last configured step. And that way I can see the robot kind of running through the steps. So if there was an issue, we could very easily troubleshoot it if necessary. So you can see our Excel spreadsheet is now open and ready for us to extract the data out of it, which is what we're going to do. But first, we need to loop through all the rows. So we highlight our selection, and we're going to loop through all the rows in the spreadsheet. Now, before I move on, I just want to point out really quickly is that if you had 100 rows of data that you need to go through, you could manually type in the range here if you needed to. We don't need to do that, but I just wanted to demonstrate that you can do that. So now that we have our rows, we are going to be extracting these into variables. So our name, our address, city, our state, our zip, the email address, and of course the phone number. So now that we've extracted all our data, we want to go to our web portal. So we're going to load our page. And I somewhat cheated, wrote down the URL, which is fine. And again, we're going to create that step after, so we can make sure that everything is going the way we expect it to. And there's our portal. So this e-form, we're just going to put the data now into the fields that it needs to go into. So name, address, city, state, zip, phone number, email address, and our e-form is now fully submitted. So our last step is going to be a click step. now our robot is ready to run. So before we upload it and save it and all that stuff, make sure that you delete this unconfigured step because we don't need it anymore. So save. Saving is always important. And now we're going to upload it to the management console. All right, let's go back to our management console. And then there's our change of address. So let's go ahead and run it. You can now see it's running. So we're going to go back to our ERP system and see the progress. Phoenix is already updated, which is great. And the great thing about this is this ERP system, this is file bound. We're using it as our ERP system, but this could be Lawson, this could be Microsoft Dynamics, this could be PeopleSoft, this could be Oracle EVS, excuse me, too many acronyms. Any place that has vendor information that could potentially need to get updated can use the same process. So. And like I said, it's not automatic. So gander real quick, see what happened. Sure. All right. Let's run our. Now we've obviously had an error with this, but what we're going to do is we're going to run it in debug mode and see if that will help. And maybe we can introduce why this is not working as we expected. My guess is we have a problem with our loop. Or maybe it's just taking forever. So. Log out of this and log back in and see if that maybe is the issue. All right then. Let's give it another minute just to see if it'll work. Well, okay. We're just going to go ahead and move on with the rest of the webinar. So, sometimes these things happen with software. Okay. We're going to discuss a couple more use cases with Kofax RPA. All right. So with several different kind of use cases, we can just use RPA to do manual repetitive tasks and show the power of Kofax RPA. So, for instance, with people working from home, RPA can be used to organize daily meeting schedules or send out task reminders to teammates. Any kind of data migration or aggregation and then data migration could be an opportunity for an RPA solution. Any kind of employee onboarding or offboarding that has many repetitive tasks could be automated. So for more ideas, go ahead and visit the URL at the bottom. The URL is actually organized by industry or vertical. So if you're looking for specific information or use cases about your vertical, you can find it very easily in that URL. And with that, it brings our webinar to a close. We encourage you to start your free trial, so if you have questions, we can be ready to help. Don't forget that our next webinar is May 22nd. You'll see a follow-up email with details on that. If you have questions, please submit them to support@trombatech.com. We will be doing a follow-up video with answers to all the questions we collect, and it'll be on demand for you guys. Brandon, go ahead.
All right. Thank you again, Chris, for the presentation. And again, if you have any questions, you can submit them directly to that email listed on the screen, and we'll be recording a Q&A webinar and then emailing it out to everyone who was on here. And so with that, we hope that you all have a wonderful weekend, and thanks again for joining. That concludes today's webinar.